In a televised address, Vladimir Putin confirmed Russia had fired a new hypersonic medium-range ballistic missile, a response to what he called escalation from the West. At first, Moscow wouldn't comment on the reports it had fired a new missile.
Да. Алло.
Its foreign ministry spokeswoman was interrupted mid-briefing by a caller who could be heard telling her to stay quiet. But the Kremlin is silent no longer, even threatening a similar attack on any country whose weapons are being fired on Russia. That includes the UK.
We consider ourselves entitled to use our weapons against military facilities of those countries that allow their weapons to be used against our facilities. And in the event of an escalation of aggressive actions, we will respond decisively and reciprocally.
This was apparently the provocation. Ukrainian strikes on Russia's Kursk region.
And UK is now directly involved in this war because this fighting cannot happen without without NATO staff, British staff as well.
But you are using
plans.
Chinese dual-use technology. You're using Iranian missiles. You're using Iranian drones. You're using North Korean troops. So are you saying all those countries are now directly involved too?
On that subject, I can say easily that we have plenty of mercenaries from different countries that are fighting right now on the side of Ukraine. So what's the matter?
So we're on the verge of World War III. What's going on, brothers and sisters? I see you all rolling in the chat. Bless you all. Now, I want you to notice I said we're on a verge of World War III. I'm not saying that it's going to escalate to the point of no return. But what we're looking at right now should be taken serious to a degree. And I want to say this. Everybody watching, this war has nothing to do with us, but it has everything to do with us. Bree, what do you mean by that? The war has nothing to do with us, but in hindsight, it has everything to do with us. It has everything to do with the awakening of God's people. And my personal beliefs on all of this, since you all are here and you respect my thoughts, when I analyze these matters, is I think that a lot of it is staged. I believe a lot of it's staged. And I think that it is being used to, for lack of better terms, keep people distracted, number one. Number two, it's also being used as a mechanism to keep things where they're at a standstill. I truly believe that things are so far gone in America that what Donald Trump, well, not Donald Trump, what Joe Biden did, allowing those missiles to go, blessing those missiles, backing them financially and otherwise, I believe what he did was a play to keep America where it's at. Keep America where it's at. And where's America at right now? America is fearful. America has just dealt with a great deal of trauma. America is already in warlike crisis. Because make no mistake about it, brothers and sisters, World War III been happening. Although I had to title this, we're on the verge of World War III, we've already been in World War III. The war started when we were 6 feet apart wearing masks. The war started when inflation went sky high, when the gas prices went sky high. The war started when we were getting cyber attacks and they were literally shutting down the whole entire grid and you were unable to travel. The war been started. You've been in a war, brothers and sisters. And now what I look at when I see this is a huge proxy in order to keep things the same. Because Trump represents anti-heroism, and he's placed in office to give us a false sense of security and hope. And now that he's there, they have to have a reason why things stay the same, why inflation stays the same, why the country continues on this downward spiral, because the fall of Babylon is already here. And this is what I think about it. People have their own thoughts and opinions, but I want to go to something else here, right? I want to share with you all something. And this is what you brothers and sisters come over here for. You come over here for the truth. And this is a ex-Ukrainian general. He makes a grim declaration that World War III has begun. People.
Former commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian army making the grim declaration World War III has officially begun as the country faces pressure from North Korea and Iran. Now Russia retaliating with new ballistic missiles after Biden gave Ukraine the green light to fire long-range attack missiles into Russia, and the UK gave their green light with their Storm Shadows.
So after Biden gave the orders, it pretty much is causing World War III. At least that's what the world stage is telling us. They're saying that it's causing conflict on a global scale. And in case you all don't know, although Trump is president-elect, he has not been sworn in yet. So in times of war, whoever's in power stays in power. And so, you know, not too long ago, I made a video about this, and hey, not even days later, everybody on the news, everybody's talking about World War III. I talked about it before everybody. And now here we go. You know, and it's crazy because I had a lot of detractors and antagonizers wondering why I used the word World War III. And now here we have it. It's all over the news because I'm actually analyzing. I'm actually studying what's happening. And also, how many of you all remember when Trump first got elected? I was like, y'all, we might go to war. By show of ones, how many of y'all was in those broadcasts when soon as Trump got elected? If I have to go look it up, I will. But I said it immediately because I talked about them testing nuclear warheads the day after the election. I said, yo, we might end up going to war. So I just want to point out that when you're viewing my material, you are viewing accurate material. I'm not just on here talking, right? Yep, somebody said multiple times you said it. Yes, they say it was your second stream about this. And that was weeks ago. So we are on the verge of World War III. Now, will it play out? I cannot answer that for you at the moment because, listen, the prince of the airwaves, Satan, the way this is working right now is that he's going to play this out long as he can play it out. As long as they can keep things at a standstill, because a lot of hope is growing in the people. And as long as they can stop people from actually empowering themselves and displaying growth, they're going to keep pushing this fear. They're going to keep pushing war. The American facilities are at risk, as well as the UK facilities. You know, you got Vladimir Putin talking about nuclear warheads. Now, I don't think he would be talking about nukes if he planned on bombing Ukraine. Ukraine is too damn close to Russia. So he's signing these declarations to be able to use nuclear warheads on who? More than likely the people who gave the order. More than likely those who was involved. Because Ukraine is too close. All you need is a windshield. All you need is some wind to blow. And it's too much fallout. Nuclear fallout is not to be played with. So why would they even bring up nuclear warheads unless they were talking about the USA or the UK? So even the fact that in the news, see, listen, you got to understand how America is falling, how Babylon is falling. Anytime you hear another country in the world talk about even dry threaten America with a nuclear warhead, you know that the power structure have fallen. Because you can't, it's once upon a time, you can't talk to America like that, right? So Babylon is dead. And I want to show y'all, well, we're going to play this source. I got some other things I need to pull up for y'all to show you the heart, how the heart has been gouged and depleted out of the American people. So we can understand where we're at with all of this, right? Allow us to continue.
So let's bring retired four-star General Jack Keane. So you see the response from Putin, an experimental intermediate range missile. Why do you think Putin fired back like that? What's he worried about, General?
Yeah, well, first of all, Putin is really a master of psychological warfare. And in the Soviet Union and Russian playbooks, it always has been a major part of their conducting.
So make no mistake about it, Putin has already responded, sending a whole slew of projectile missiles at Ukraine already in response, hitting certain facilities. He did a couple amplified attacks.
Kinetic warfare. And he's really quite good at it. I mean, look at it. He's forced the Biden administration never to give the Ukrainians what they wanted when they wanted it. And it protracted the war. So Putin keeps coming. And that's what this is all about. He wants to stop the use of ATACMS into Russia because he knows full well it already has. That can have some pretty significant impact. And certainly that's where he is, and that's what he's trying to get inside of Biden's head here and the Europeans' head. I think he cares less about Zelensky because he knows that Biden controls the switch here, and that's the reality of it. So in my mind, this is an experimental missile. I doubt they have any arsenal of it because it is experimental. They don't have much of it. And he's trying to use this as much leverage as he can to change the behavior of the United States and also Zelensky.
He says the missile goes 2.5 miles per second. The world's current air defense cannot stop it, according to what we have. So that's the message he sent. So the former military commander in Ukraine writes this. Soldiers from North Korea are standing in front of Ukraine. Let's be honest. The Iranian Shahidi missiles are killing civilians, drones. It is obvious that Ukraine already has too many enemies. We're not to say this is a world war. You feel like this is a world war beginning?
Well, I have some empathy for Zelensky, by the way, and for our audience. He used to be the chief of staff of all the forces in Ukraine. He's highly respected. But, you're sitting where he is, you can understand his feelings about this. I mean, he's fighting Russia, and now another nation state has come into the war to assist in the overthrow of Ukraine.
And see, that makes it a world war because you got to understand that Russia is plugged in. Ukraine has their allies, America, various other countries in the Western world are backing Ukraine. And then you got Russia with BRICS. Come on now. We talking about Brazil. We talking about China. We talking about India. We talking about South Africa. Like, the reason why this could get potentially bad is because everybody connected, everybody plugged in. These are the leaders of the free world. These are the top commanders of the world right now. And off of one split decision that Biden made, it's not looking too good because this has escalated. There's been loss of life. There's been attacks. There's been a lot of bloodshed. There's been a lot of back and forth. There's been talks of nuclear warheads. This thing is getting crazy, right? And it's gotten so crazy because people understand what Putin is capable of. The American citizens are very aware of what Vladimir Putin is capable of. And I want to show y'all what has happened, because this is quite interesting. I want to go to shout out to Hebrew Hub. He has a couple videos on here where people, American citizens, are literally begging begging Vladimir Putin not to retaliate. You know, they're saying, look, we don't stand with our government. We don't want nothing to do with this. And this was happening. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull up a couple of those videos here. Because that's here we go.
This message is for Vladimir Putin. Please remember in your retaliation that we, the people, did not want this. That's all.
Look, and there's multiple people saying that. Look, they're pleading to Vladimir Putin. There's like a couple people. Let me see if I can find the other ones where people like, look, bro, we don't want no smoke. We don't want no smoke.
Okay, now that that's done, I want to speak to Vladimir Putin of Russia. I wanted to say from the people of America that we offer our warmest and sincerest apologies for what's happened the past few days. Now, like I said before with Zelensky, we're not sure why Joe did it. It came out of left field. But I do know that the people are not looking for this kind of engagement. We have so much stuff going on in our country right now. We don't have time to worry about everybody else's. I'm not sure why our government's doing that now, but we need to put a stop to it. And I've got an idea in mind. So I don't know if it'll come to fruition, but I'll see what I can do. And that really doesn't have anything to do with you. So I'm sorry. I know that you're upset right now. I'm sure you probably lost a few men out there.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can do me a solid and please pound the like button, it would really do us a great justice on this platform here to get the word out. Thank you.
To go to war with Russia. Compromise between the two warring sides. And that's what I'd like to offer you guys, because I've actually been looking into the war quite a bit. And I've got some questions about what happened with the two treaty signings, why it got pulled at the last minute when all you had to do was sign it away. Yeah, just a few odds and ends, pieces I can't get, just searching around publicly. And I hope you at least consider that. Anyway, again, I am deeply sorry about what happened. America is not looking to go to war with Russia. I kind of still consider Russia friends. Ever since Gorbachev and Reagan got together and ended the Cold War and brought the USSR to...
Now, he just brought up some real details here that I want to hone in on. I may have to share this video on the screen, and I believe that is necessary, because I'm about to break something down for y'all that is very historically accurate, as well as informative to what's happening, something that he just brought out. And this is why I say that I believe a lot of things are staged, but you're going to find out what I'm speaking in regards of here in one moment. Give me one moment here. This is why, you just can't believe everything you see, right? And here we go. Here we go.
Okay, now that that's done, I want to speak to Vladimir Putin of Russia. I wanted to say from the people of America that we offer our warmest and sincerest apologies for what's happened the past few days. Like I said before with Zelensky, we're not sure why Joe did it. It came out of left field. But I do know that the people are not looking for this kind of engagement. We have so much stuff going on in our country right now. We don't have time to worry about everybody else's. I'm not sure why our government's doing that now, but We need to put a stop to it. And I've got.
That's my thing. If Putin gonna do something, he gonna do it. But you got the American citizens showing no heart whatsoever. You know, they're going over the president, they're going over the government, all that. Say, look, they're sending video messages directly to Putin, talking about, look, bro, you know, we ain't got nothing to do with that, because they know what Putin is capable of. But you know, it's like this, right? If he's gonna do something, you ain't gonna stop it anyway. You ain't gonna stop it anyway. That's why it's no use living your life in fear, worried about what's gonna happen with this war. Look, the Most High says what's gonna happen. You understand me? So, like I said before, this war don't have nothing to do with us, but it got everything to do with us. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, is it has everything to do with the mental bondage being broke off the people. It has everything to do with the Great Awakening. It have everything to do with the fact that Black men didn't grovel under Black women and go vote for Kamala Harris. It got everything to do with people not falling for the games of celebrities and not falling into the idol worship and idolatry of celebrities. It has everything to do with the mass majority wanting more conservative values. It has everything to do with the LGBTQ plus agenda not having as much power as they thought it did. It has everything to do with people losing hope in the pharmaceutical industry. It has everything to do with people losing hope in celebrities. That's what World War III is really about. It's an attack on our minds. So while you worried about a physical war, there's a spiritual war being fought, and it has been being fought for years now. And it's all because people are waking up. It's all because people are choosing the Most High, choosing a side. And the powers that be understand that. Now, he's about to say something that I don't even think he realized. He's bringing out some details that point to something more ominous or daunting taking place. And it points to these people actually staging some of this stuff, but he don't see it. But watch this.
Got an idea in mind, so I don't know if it'll come to fruition, but I'll see what I can do. And that really doesn't have anything to do with you, so I'm sorry. I know that you're upset right now. I'm sure you probably lost a few men out there, and that's devastating for any country. I'm sure they had loved ones that they were supposed to go back to, who are waiting for them, and they may never see them. They won't see them again. I don't condone war. I don't think it's good for anyone, anywhere, for any reason. But since I can't magically wave my hands and make all war go away, I just have to work diligently to try and find a compromise.
Now, it's something he said a little bit earlier. I might have blew past it, but he said he thought that America and Russia was always allies, always allies. They always looked at each other as allies due to the deals that were made and put on the table back in the day. And he's 100% correct. See, people don't understand who the war is really against. And if you pay attention, if you really peep it, there's a lot of things being staged that aren't real. And the war is really against you. Think about the fact that the military now has the power to engage all Latinos in America with this mass deportation. But Ukrainians are not being engaged. But Haitians and Latinos are. I want you to keep in mind that Russians and Ukrainians are the same people. Are y'all paying attention? Do y'all not understand the stage that we on? Russians and Ukrainians are the same people. Who does the war seem to really be against when you think about it? Something that has nothing to do with us has everything to do with us. Why? Because they want you buying in. They want you in fear. They want you perplexed. They want you distressed. See, What needs to happen is that we realize how powerful we actually are and how great lengths this society goes to keep us confused, to keep us distracted, to keep us thrown off. We need to understand how fake a lot of this stuff be. And it'd be right there in plain sight. Like these people, Russia and America going to war. I don't believe that. All that's in me, I hear what's going on. But everything is a test. And it's a test on the people.
Between the two warring sides. And that's what I'd like to offer you guys, because I've actually been looking into the war quite a bit. And I've got some questions about what happened with the 2 treaty signings, why it got pulled at the last minute when all you had to do was sign it away. Yeah, just a few odds and ends, pieces I can't get, just searching around publicly.
The reason why you can't get the answers that you're searching for is because it's a play. Look, you can't sit up here and tell me this people who look the same, speak the same language, who are not far apart from each other, are over here bombing each other and threatening America because they gave the orders. And I'm just going to tell you, all these people are white people. Hope y'all don't mind. I just speak straight up to y'all. I hope y'all don't mind that I bring out some biblical history that those people over there are nothing but the Khazarian Empire. That's all they are. They're the Khazarian Empire. And they're playing the public. You really think they over there going to war with each other? Now, there's some other variables. Now, Vladimir Putin did do something that caught me off guard like last year. He did something that caught me off guard, and I don't know if that made him enemies to America. How many of y'all know what Vladimir Putin did? Let me see if y'all studied. He did something very interesting. If y'all don't know, I'm going to inform you, but I want to see how many of y'all know what he did last year. If you don't know, yeah. Well, Mr. Wowsy, he went into the Black Madonna. He went into the archives. He went into the history, and he brung out something. He brung out something interesting. And I want to share what he brung out. And so you can see maybe this is why he may be an enemy. He could be an enemy to the states. And maybe Biden didn't like what he did. And Biden don't want to leave the office. I'm going to show y'all what he did. Real quick. Real quick. Last year.
Shippo is a vital shipping tool every business owner should be utilizing to save almost 90% on shipping labels to success.
Drags on. Russian President Vladimir Putin has decided to move one of Russia's holiest icons from a museum to a Moscow cathedral. This arises a debate around Putin's growing reliance on the church. More on this in our next report.
Emphasizing on the importance of the holy icon, Putin ordered Andrei Rublev's Trinity be transferred to the Russian Orthodox Church from Moscow's Tretyakov Gallery for a year. The relocation of Russia's most well-known icon highlights how closely the war has intertwined politics and religion. Trinity.
So he brung out Black Jesus. He brung out the Black. I'm going to go right to it because we don't need a big history lesson on it. I want to show you the photo that he revealed so y'all can, understand. Let me show y'all the photo he revealed. And we're going to go there. One moment. We're just going to go to Google so I can show you what he revealed. One moment. Wait. Man, it's like even Google scrubbed a lot of the images. And I hate to bore y'all with all this history, but this is what Putin revealed. This is what he revealed, right? And everybody thumb the video, get the likes up. He revealed that Jesus Christ was black. All right. Now, I don't know if that made him an enemy, but we also know that Trump antagonized Biden like last year, talking about his leadership and saying that none of the world leaders, Vladimir Putin, nobody respects you. And that could have been get back. Sending a, ordering that attack could have been get back. At least that's how the storyline looks. But let's go.
And I hope you at least consider that. Anyway, again, I am deeply sorry about what happened. America is not looking to go to war with Russia. I kind of still consider Russia friends. Ever since Gorbachev and Reagan got together and ended the Cold War and brought the USSR into becoming Russia. Just help facilitate that by. It was a great day because I knew if during the Cold War.
Yeah, they took down a lot of those images off Google and YouTube of what Putin unveiled.
Where everybody was still so scared about having a bomb drop on them. There were so many bunkers built and everything else. And having an end to that part of our lives meant that people could start relaxing and getting back into a regular lifestyle or whatever they called it back then. So I think I'm done here. I have said my piece. I know I have no reason to, or I'd have no, I really shouldn't have the right to ask you this, but is there any way that you and Zelensky could come to kind of a ceasefire, treaty amendment, something?
So as you can see, the American citizens are disoriented. They are fearful. And I think this is what they wanted. World War III been going on. And from the looks of things, Babylon is unrepairable. That's what it looks like. It's unrepairable. I want y'all to think about this, right? Yeah, dude sounded drunk as hell, like, man, I can't believe this is happening. I want you to think about all of the wickedness that the left did while they were in office. All the inflation, all of the debt that they caused, all of the immorality that they pushed through the airwaves, all of the perversions, all of the just wickedness. Do y'all really think America's turning back? Babylon is falling. It's falling. And they're not trying to go laying down. They believe that it's their time. They're witches and warlocks and all of these people, they're spirit guides. Their spirit guides already know that the children of the light are waking up. God's chosen ones. The chosen ones are actually waking up. They're rushing. They're rushing to destroy everything because they know who gets the promise. They know who up next. They don't care about going into no world war because, look, they don't want to lose power. They'll go ahead and destroy everything before they lose power.
The truth be known, all the escalation talk has all been about the United States giving the green light to Ukraine to use ATACMS and moving.
See, all the talking has been about the United States giving the green light. That's what starts World War III. But guess what happens at the end of all this? Y'all want to know what happens biblically, prophetically? How many of y'all by show of ones want to know the outcome of all this? Only reason I know because I read my Bible. Y'all want to know? Show of ones. Let me see. I'm about to show y'all. I'm about to show y'all. Because it's real simple. It's real simple how this is going to end up. Now, you know, when you start something and you instigate a situation, how many of y'all know how that ends? When you instigate something, how does it end? Yep, Revelations 3 and 9, the U.S. fails. All right, I'm going to tell y'all. Now that all the anticipation is built up, every nation that they instigated wars with, they all turn on you. And the Bible describes it as all the fiery darts, which are missiles, pointing to where? Babylon. That's Bible. Now, this is going to happen, but not right now. This is just the verge. This is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. Now, you know the Most High, he got to purge this place with fire. Let's not act surprised. Let's not act like we don't know the word. He got to purge this place with fire. He already done it with water. Oh, we're going to go to the scriptures. Don't worry about it. Yeah, somebody said it. These are birth pains. Look, man. We're going to go there, but let's go. Hold up real quick.
In minds, the real escalation is there's another nation fighting on the ground inside of Ukraine, inside of Russia, attempting to push the Ukrainian forces out of it. That's significant. He looks in the Middle East and he sees Russia's ally also, who started a war there, Iran, and Iran is a tangible provider of assistance. So from his perspective, that indeed may be the case. From our perspective, no. But I do believe we are in a pre-war era. I've said that many times. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea are seriously cooperating together.
Yes, BRICS. They're cooperating together to the point where they have already ousted the American dollar. But nobody seems to understand how serious that really is. China outsourcing the American dollar. Do y'all not understand that everything that you use in America, this right here, everything made in China? We talking about Brazil, India, Russia, China, South Africa. Do you know how many resources South Africa got? Do you know how many precious minerals they got? And they're not using the American dollar. They've already found a way to outsource you. They don't need you. Everybody's going to turn on Mystery Babylon. Everybody's going to turn on the whore. But y'all not getting it. Because why? The scripture says that Babylon would say to herself, I sit as a widow that shall be not touched. Nobody can break me down. And that's the mind frame of the people in America. But no. America's evil. They don't service the poor. They hate platonic family here. They are all about greed. And America's got to suffer. Hey, what the Bible says? A land built on blood shall what? Fall in blood. You can't come over here and conquest and pillaging and destroying and not expect it to happen to you. No, that don't sound right. Now, should we be afraid? I'm talking about believers of the Most High. Absolutely not, because everything that happens is for the greater good of those who are chosen. And those who are Holy Spirit led, going to be in the right place. Going to understand how to move accordingly as things escalate in this world. So it's not one of those things where you're scared. Look, if you're afraid when I really break down the Bible and what's going on politically and in the world, then just stop watching TV altogether. Stop watching movies. Stop watching the news. Just get off of social media altogether. If you scared, just stop watching everything, because guess what? The programming is everywhere. You can't look anywhere without them telling you what's actually taking place. But some of y'all just choose not to see it. You choose to remain ignorant and oblivious. But people of substance, people who really have courage, they choose to fear the Lord. Because the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom. People of great substance choose to cleave unto the Most High and move accordingly. Jeremiah 51:29. And the land shall tremble and sorrow. For every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. Sound like nuclear warheads to me. Just the fact that they on the news flirting with the idea of dropping a nuke anywhere near America, and you don't see it dealt with swiftly. That should tell you all you need to know. That's called predictive programming. That's called foreshadowing what's going to take place later on. Let's go.
And they clearly want to change the United States leadership in the world with like-minded democracies. That's what,
and they have changed the American leadership in the world. But Americans are too confident, too boastful, too arrogant to accept that America is no longer the world power. That all of the conquests you've done, all the bullying you've done, all the shaking down you've done, murdering Muammar Gaddafi, turning his own people against him when he tried to come up with his own form of currency using gold. When you bullied, when you stole natural resources, when you went on these eugenics trails and went to Rwanda and different parts of Africa and started spreading your damn terrorism, you think you don't got to pay for that? You think you don't have to pay for that? And then on top of that, right now in America, they want to take $88 billion a year. In the midst of all that's happening, they want to take $88 billion a year and go after every Latino and try to ship them off somewhere. As if we have the resources for that. Now, instead of creating a task force that can literally do sting operations and get all the criminals, all the traffickers, all the drug mules, instead of setting up a task force, they want to keep us in poverty, keep the inflation up, and gather up every Latina. Come on now. Are they not trying to keep this thing falling? Are they not trying to keep us in the hole with all these erratic schemes and plans? That's Trump's first initiative getting into office. Now, I need y'all to understand. At one point in time, in case you don't know, Mexicans owned Texas, Arizona, and California. That land was stolen from them by the white man. They only migrated home. They only migrated home. And a lot of them been tax-paying citizens for generations. A lot of these people have built railroads, they paved roads, they built high-rise buildings, and nobody gave a damn about a green card because they were willing to do the work. And now, how are you supposed to weed these people out? Are you saying that now the military can approach every Spanish person? If they would do that to the Spanish folks who helped build up the country for what it is right now, Black people, I got a question for you. I want you to really consider this and think about it. Because you built the country from ground root. What the hell you think they're going to do with you? There's no comprehensive plan for Black America. What the hell you think they got planned for you? These are just the things you got to consider, because a lot of people are celebrating what's happening, not understanding. Man, this ex-Ukrainian top general is dropping some knowledge on what's happening in the world right now.
Clearly want to change the United States leadership in the world with like-minded democracies. That's
actually, he's just a correspondent. But the general, ex-Ukrainian top general, did declare that World War III has begun. Let's go.
That's why they've been so aggressive and so assertive these last three or 4 years. And German intelligence actually publicized recently. I was amazed that they put this in a public domain, and I was gratified that they do. And I suspect.
Let me see here. Christie says, from all different countries. So what you said is misleading. Christie, let me ask you a question, Christie. Should all white people be deported? Feel free to answer. Should all white people be deported? Now, the reason I propose such a question is because last time I checked, white people came over here and stole every damn thing from the Indians. They stole everything from the indigenous people. Last time I checked, in Christopher Columbus' memoirs, the people of the land were speaking ancient Phoenician Hebrew. Y'all gave them smallpox blankets. Y'all took their land and said, look, we're going to call this Thanksgiving. So should all white people be deported? Because technically, you came here illegally. The answer is no. The answer is no. All white people shouldn't be deported because there's white people who did not exercise systemic racism. There's white people who were beneficial to society, and America's a melting pot, baby. It is what it is at this point. So to answer your question, no, all white people shouldn't be deported because there's white people out here who are beneficial to society. There's white people who are beneficial to us as people in our culture. There's white people who are supportive of us. There's Gentile brothers and sisters who are righteous. So to answer your question, no. So let me ask you this. Should all Spanish people be deported? My nigga Breed knew the time. The answer is no, especially when they owned Texas, Arizona, and California before that land was stolen from them too. Now, allow us to continue. Somebody said nobody should be deported. Yes, criminals should be deported. Drug mules should be deported. Traffickers should be deported. Those who came under the Biden administration should be deported. A great deal of them. We talking about the same people who were squatting in people's homes. We talking about the same people who were stealing school buses full of children. We talking about the same people who was bringing fentanyl in the communities and wiping people out. They should be deported. Let's go.
Our intelligence agencies feel much the same, but I have no knowledge of that. The reality is they said that Russia fully intends, after the Ukraine is finished with, to expand into Europe. And all the European nations know that. And certainly I think our country knows that. I know.
Wow. So Russia's talking about they finna expand off into Europe. So you should be fully aware that BRICS, Russia, all these people who are united, they literally plan on recruiting a whole lot more countries. At some point, the American dollar is going to be obsolete. That's why it's $30 damn for a bottle of olive oil. It's going to be obsolete. Because all the countries that are broke because of the American dollar, they're going to get on board. And they're going to be looking for an alternative. I tell y'all this, man. I traveled to a third world country a couple years ago, Liberia. And y'all will be surprised that the price of gas is more down there than it is here. The inflation at the time was worse than it is here in a third world country. And they were using the American dollar. So imagine the American dollar crippling societies, because that's what's happening. It's crippling societies. So you're going to have a lot of countries that say, hey, the American dollar is doing us no justice. We're mutilating, galvanizing, destroying, going to war with each other over this. And we still don't have what we need. We still don't have enough. So people are going to start coming up with more ways of trade, making different commodities, and having a different system of trade. Xing the American dollar out. That's where we at with it. Let's go.
Know that as well. So yes, we're in a pre-war era. There's already two wars in our geographical key areas, the Middle East and Europe, and President Xi is threatening war, obviously, in the Indo-Pacific region.
Now, the Bible says in the last days there will be wars. There'll be rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. But all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So if you troubled in the spirit, you don't need to be troubled. What you do need to understand is things are going to escalate to a point where there will be a very real war that takes place eventually. Right now, we're looking at certain things take place to position various countries and align them with prophecy. Countries are just aligning with prophecy right now. If you know the word, you already know what's happening. And do me a favor, brothers and sisters, make sure you like the video. We got to have the likes over 1,000 every video. This type of biblical content is often frowned upon, so we have to, share. Let's see. Mandy comes through with the support. So Mandy wasn't offended off of my rebuttal. I want to thank Mandy for the $50 super sticker. She says, my neighbor here in Texas fled Liberia as children. They are the kindest friends I have. One of them wrote a book about their experiences living in Liberia. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you for sharing that with us. And yes, Liberia has very rich people, but there's a lot of poverty. And when I say rich, I'm talking about spiritually rich. There's a lot of spiritually rich people there. There's a lot of brothers that I still love to this day that are good brothers. There's a lot of good sisters down there still love to this day. And, one day I'm going back and I'm going to visit them. And hopefully, things will be different. Right? So, yes, I still got nothing but love for Liberia. And I have nothing but love for the people who are from Liberia. Shout out Liberia. And I hope that they find the time and the moment to, at some point, stop backing the American dollar. If it's brothers right now, dignitaries watching right now, y'all got to lose that American dollar. That got to be the first thing. Y'all got to come up with your own currency. Listen, you got Once Africa in general, all of Africa, realize the resources they have, it's over for the American dollar. It's over for America. This is why you had Kamala Harris going over there trying to offer them incentives to try to make y'all's country gay. Trying to offer large sums of money for y'all to legalize certain things, because they know if they make certain things legal and if y'all let certain things happen, that it's going to destabilize the country the same way America's destabilized. When you veer off from traditional family, things is going down. But when Africa realized how much minerals, oil, how rich the soil is, just how much you can do, all the commodities that are all around you, and y'all start to find your own dollar, your own financial system, your own economy, it's over. It's over. And man, and I'm gonna tell y'all, we sat amongst dignitaries and we talked about the love notes. I'm talking about in the White House of Liberia. We talked about these things. These were very real conversations that were had, and they were put into consideration. That's how serious things are. So when I'm talking about these things, I'm talking from experience. And one thing about Black men in America, what we don't tend to understand is we don't really know what it's like to be men, because we don't have control over our own government. You know, we don't know what it's like to sit at that round table and be able to see what it takes to run a country. But that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be around that round table, sitting around talking about what we're going to do for our people. How are we going to police this environment? How are we going to fundraise this? How are we going to get crops here? How are we going to make this work and make that work? All the logistics that come with running the government. Black men don't understand that. I have got to witness that firsthand, and it changed me, and I will never be the same again. I will never be the same again. I will always think differently from everybody who's never experienced that. I will always think about nation building. I will always think about what can be done. I will always view politics for what they are, and I will always know what we're capable of, because in case you don't know, there were freed slaves that went to Liberia who actually established Liberia as its own sovereign country. And they don't let outsiders in. That's the beauty of Liberia, is they're not letting anybody in there, meaning other races. You can come visit, but they're just not letting all people move in. They only want us moving in, usins. And that's just what it is. They stick to that. So, you know, these are just things that I've seen going on in the world, but let's continue.
Incoming administration, given President Trump's strong views in the past and what he has done to confront adversaries, I believe all of these adversaries are reassessing as a result of the election that took place in the United States.
They're all reassessing based on the election that took place in the United States. So, you know, I thought that Trump was cool with Vladimir Putin. I can remember the first time he ran for president. The news media kept accusing Trump of colluding with Russia. Y'all remember that? They kept accusing, like all the news broadcasts kept saying that Trump was colluding with Russia. I don't know, I could be wrong on that, but I distinctly remember them being cool. So it's almost like Biden pushed the button to make all this happen beforehand. And I don't know. Yep, you said it right. Azaria Ari, the world is a stage. Biden and Trump can be having tea and crumpets right now, looking at what's going on. They could have did this now so they can escalate the world agenda, the new world order, without Trump being the fall guy at this moment, but using Biden. So, yeah, look, believe nothing you hear, half of what you see. Let's go.
And then I think believe when President Trump comes forward and his team, and they can begin with policy formulation, that will be another moment for them to see if they have to change the path, the very aggressive path that they're on.
Right. They actually have that intent. I think you think the Russians have that intent, even if they don't have the army right now to do it. That's their goal. General Jack Keane, thanks so much. Appreciate
that is the general.
it.
That is the general. My bad. The general has some insight. The general has some insight here, man. I want to share a scripture with y'all. I want to share something with y'all. We go into Jeremiah 51, and it reads, "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise against me, a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble, they shall be against her round about. They shall be against her round about. They shall be against her round about." Now let's continue here. It goes on to say, "Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host." That's what's happening right now. Eventually, people are going to compass against the Babylonian infrastructure, and they're going to ensure that all the aggression is unloaded on America because they have been what? The instigator. Somebody says, so fam, since we're getting the info to know what's coming, how can we be able to really meet up with like-minded people if no one is really trying to reach back? Man, Brother Xavier, you're welcome to reach out with us. I think I seen you in our chats. Who's not reaching back? And by the way, pretty soon I'm going to be forming a new chat where we can discuss these matters offline, because I know a lot of you brothers be in the chat, and a lot has been going on. I've just recently relocated, moved, children on the way, had a child, a lot of business behind the scenes, a lot of things I got going on, just launching the clothing line, the Nobility brand. And I have had my hands full, brothers and sisters. But for you all who have been gathering with us, for you all who have a lot of questions about what has transpired the last few months, as far as us coming together and building offline, we will be launching something soon. All right. Where all you brothers and sisters can come back to the table, and we got something going on offline where we can assemble. It's just been a lot going on at the moment. I've been extremely busy, and it's like difficult to dedicate all my time to doing certain things, right? But I'm getting back to that. I'm going to find some free time, some space, and opportunity to touch bases with some of you brothers who want to network, right? And plug you into other brothers who may be in your city, your state, things of that nature. Because I do understand the desire to be around people who are like-minded. Now, I'm going to read a little bit more of this Jeremiah. It says, "Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God. His soul be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." So, Judah, this ain't about you being afraid. That's right, Judah. Because it just told you that the Most High have not cut you off. Now, the 2/3, y'all gone. Y'all out of here. Y'all gonna get eradicated because y'all evil. You 2/3 who choose to defend this system and sell out and pander to this system. You 2/3 who would do your brothers and sisters dirty over a few dollars for some rations. Oh, you're gonna pay. You brothers and sisters who won't repent and turn to the Almighty and live a lifestyle that seeks repentance, you will pay. But for Judah, who is righteous, you ain't got nothing to worry about. When you're doing the right thing, it just feel a certain way, right? It says, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God. And the Lord of hosts through their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. That's right. This is the Lord's vengeance. That's what's going to happen to America. One moment. One moment, y'all. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup of the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nation have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. Therefore, what? Read that, y'all. Therefore, the nations are mad. One moment. Thank y'all for being patient. Now let's read this. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Let's go. The nations have drunken of the wine of her before the nations. Therefore, the nations are mad. So who you think going to pay Babylon back? Who you think the Lord is going to use to give Babylon its just due? Come on now. I want y'all to participate in the chat. We going over some real stakes right now. This ain't just milk and honey. I'm throwing some stakes out there for you, some real biblical knowledge of what's going on. It says, if the nations are mad, who's the Most High going to use to fulfill his judgment? That's right. That's right. Other countries. Other countries. The nations are mad. Why you think they banding together to form BRICS? Why you think they ousting the American dollar? Yes, there's some well done steak right here. The nations. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon. Hold on. What did it say? If Babylon would have been healed, you mean if things were going to go back on the up and up, if everything was going to be everything, and this country was going to be, back, make America, if America's going to be great again, let's use that. I don't know if it was ever great, but if America's fitting to be great again, why the hell it ain't happened yet? That's what the Bible say. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her. Forsake her. Forsake her. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. And let us go, everyone, into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Hold on. It say let everybody go into their own country. It said let everybody go into their own country. What you think people are going to do? America is done. people going to go back to their hometown and do what they do. Once they really see this cataclysm taking place in real time. So what we need to do, stay in the faith, be set apart. Eventually, if you set apart in the spiritual, eventually you're going to be set apart in the physical too. I'm a firm believer in that. If you set apart in the spiritual, it's only a matter of time for you set apart physically. Because that Holy Spirit going to move you. It's only a matter of time. Anyway, brothers and sisters, I wanted to really, excuse me, pardon me. I've been having this cough. It's weird. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I don't feel sick, but I get this itch, like this irritating feeling in my throat, and it causes me to cough. You know, I've tried everything, y'all. If y'all got a remedy, I've tried gargling salt water. I've tried the black seed oil. I've tried cough syrup. I tried it all, but for some reason I get this itch back here, and it just gets me coughing. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I'm gonna keep on trying different remedies, but if y'all know something, and let me know in my Instagram, because this has been going on for like a couple of weeks, and I don't like it. Somebody said cayenne and hot water. That's interesting, because I've eaten soup. I've eaten soup with cayenne pepper in it. Somebody said elderberry. I tried lemon. Elderberry sounds good. Lemon and honey. I've done all that. I've done all of it. I tried so many things. Somebody said, try some zinc, my dude. We're going to try some zinc. We're going to try some zinc. But, I thank y'all for, showing some care and some compassion for a brother and actually sharing those things with me. But I want to thank y'all, man. I got more material coming, man. It's going to be some real powerful content coming. Y'all stay tuned. And if you like this particular video, man, dig back in my archives. I know that everybody like to look at the newest video that's out, but man, do yourself a favor and dig back in my archives so you can see all the times where these things was predicted, these things was talked about, and show your support. Also, man, consider supporting me via Cash App. I will start shouting out Cash Apps, New Breed Global Truth 77. Everything is appreciated. It goes a long way when it comes to this work. Thank y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. With that being said, shalom, peace.